So you have a Z32 and you've been thinking about getting fog light ducts, but you don't know the difference between a $50 fog light duct and $150 fog light ducts. So let's break it down. I really wanted to film a video where it shows the difference between the different fog light ducts that come in the Z32 front bumpers. So I have 3 different companies. I've got Twins, Power Tricks, and then a 3D printed one that there was a guy on Facebook selling. And I wanted to compare the 3 to show what the differences are and why there's such a big price gap in between some of these. So let's get started. This one is the 3D printed one. The box is already open because I need to paint a set of these that a friend of mine got here in the Dallas area, and I just thought it was a good opportunity to make an educational video as to what the difference is between these. But since this box is already open, we're gonna go ahead and start. So the 3D printed ones, they do come sanded, but they're sanded, I don't know, I'd probably say with around 180 grit maybe, maybe 220, but there's still heavy marks from the 3D printer that are gonna get taken care of. So this one isn't terrible. It feels kind of flimsy and it's got a like a little gap over here, but it definitely doesn't really feel structurally sound. Now the other fog light duct, this one has a lot of this white like filler in it, where the 3D printer didn't, it looks like it might have like skipped, or he might have ran out of plastic, but this white like filler, I can scratch that off with my fingers. So I'm really worried about how this is gonna hold up, especially with how flexible the bumper is, especially with the filler. So that's these. Now, I didn't open these boxes on purpose because I wanted to do that on camera so you could see how they're packaged. We're gonna go with Z1s first. Z1 sent out the Twins. You can see how it's packaged. I mean, all of the boxes have fragile on them, every single one of them. So let's see, we've got this, the Ultimate 300ZX giveaway. All right, and then when I get that top fit out, you can see how like crazy wrapped these fog light ducts are. So we'll take out this one. So that one looks great. It feels really solid. It's all fiberglass, everything around it. Let's open the other one. Once again, these things are packaged really well. There's no way that these would have broke. Even if they probably slammed this box up against a wall, these would have been safe. So props for packaging. I want to compare side by side these two. And I mean, as they sit, there is a huge difference in between the two as far as the air inlets go. It does, I mean, they're about the same. The 3D printed one may be a little bit bigger. Now something that the guys at Twins let me know was when they were designing their duct, it's actually a 2-part mold. So one part is how they get the curve, and the other part is how smooth and clean that they get the top knit. So, and then they put it together and it creates this that lets the air travel in with this curve. So, I mean, this is really nice. I haven't seen one of these raw in person, so this is my first hands-on with them too. It is very clean. Next, we're gonna open Power Tricks. So, Power Tricks sent me 2 different versions. We got some packing peanuts, so you can see how it's packed. This one, I'm gonna do this one second. So this one is the fiberglass. Recommendation for installation of fog light ducts. So that's nice, he gives a little how-to, how to install. All right, now I learned way more about fog light ducts in the last week than I think anybody really needs to know, but I wanted to put this in a video to show you guys. This is Powertric's fog light duct. Now it is fiberglass, just like the twins one, but if we compare these two, it's significantly different. So Charles's does let in a little bit more air because the inlet is a little bit wider. And although when you purchase the fiberglass one, it is reinforced on the back with carbon fiber. So you could see that back here, he wanted to make it as strong as he could. I mean, knowing that these things are gonna be tracked and driven on the street, and there's gonna be a lot of flex in the bumper, they're very good reinforced. And they're definitely really, really strong. So I don't think that those are gonna break very easily anytime soon. Not that my hands have a lot of strength in them, but I'm gonna put one like that so you guys can see. These ones are the new style carbon fiber ones. So I actually have the old style carbon fiber ones on this bumper, and I'll show you how I have those mounted as well, and I'll also show you the differences between them. All right, so these are the full carbon, and dang, those are really, really clean. Everything is super smooth. Obviously carbon fiber on the front, carbon fiber in the back, the whole thing is carbon fiber. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this one because that looks really cool. And comparing to the old one, the old style. All right, we're gonna open the other one. Everybody, meet Frank. He paints next door. Frank thought it would be funny to pretend to walk downstairs behind me. I'm not editing him out. Same. These are super, super nice. I really like those. All right. So now what I'm gonna do, you're probably wondering, how do these all fit? So I'm gonna try them out on this KVD bumper. I always get a bit concerned because I'm by myself at the shop, so I had to go investigate. I heard some noise. Were you spying on me? I'm making my video, come on in. You can see how we mounted this originally. Now this was over 10 years ago. Like, these have been on for over 10 years. So, I mean, we put screws through the sides, the 3 screws, and then had like a rubber silicone and just kind of sealed that up a little bit. But it's really held up well in the last 10 years. So now we're gonna remove it. We're just gonna skip to the good part. All right, now that we got all the bolts out, I'm gonna have to cut some of this sealant we put on. We reinforced it because a really solid part on a very urethane bumper, and with all the flex and all of that of drifting and maybe hitting something, going off track, we just wanted to make sure it was really tight. Here we go. All right, now that I have all my ducts in a row, let's see Fitment. We already know this is Powertric's old style and it fit wonderfully. Let's check out and see, I mean, really the difference in the inlets from the old style to the new style. So one of the things that people liked about the old style was that you could see more carbon here. And I mean, while that is really cool, if you want to benefit with better airflow, that's why he had created version 2. Now version 2, you can see, you can't really see that much carbon fiber like here, but the whole thing is still carbon and it's still really cool and it lets a whole lot more air in. I mean, if I had to guess, I mean, look at the back of that. Like maybe 2.5 times more airflow to go through there. I mean, and as long as we're comparing, I mean, this is also Powertric's, same mold, I'm sure, just the fiberglass. This is the 3D printed one. Now it does have a bigger hole. We're gonna call that an inlet to be correct. And then the twins one definitely has a bigger inlet. So something over time, being these are, you know, 10 to 15 years old, and they do look really cool and they do allow airflow to come in, just the progression that the Z community and the engineers behind these kind of products have figured out is that people want more airflow, and keeping the car cool on track is definitely like a huge deal. Now, as far as fitment goes, we'll start with the Powertric's. This is the carbon fiber one. Once again, really good fitment, really snug. That's not going anywhere. I don't think I can push that in any further. This one here is the Power Tricks one, the fiberglass, and I think it looks pretty good. Everything is pretty flush. It is snug, but not overly snug. Next up is the twins. All right, so the twins one will work once it's bolted down. It doesn't quite fit as snug, but this also is an aftermarket KVD bumper, so it'll still look great. It's just gonna require a little bit more securing to make it sit right and not have me hold it from behind. Next up, we have the 3D printed ones. So this one does not push in all the way. Also with a little mishap on the other one cracking, I didn't really want to overly push this. You can hear some cracking a little bit. There is a lot of gaps on the edges and on the straight line right here, and it does stick out at the bottom. I know what you're thinking now. You're like, all right, well, this is a KVD bumper. How is the fitment on like a factory bumper? Well, I just happen to have a factory bumper. All right, so this bumper is going to be going on my Z32. It is brand new. I have not painted it yet. We're working on eliminating the front license plate bracket so it'll be smooth. But this is a really good example of like a factory Nissan bumper because it is a Nissan, it's not a wrap, it's urethane. Let's start with the twins design. So the twins design, I'm pretty sure was made around this bumper. Yeah, fitment on that is perfect. So I'll show you the back. We know the twins fits perfect. Let's go try the Power Tricks carbon fiber one. So now we have the Power Tricks carbon fiber one in, and again, on a factory Nissan bumper, that fitment is perfect. I'll show you the back. Now that we've tried out the carbon fiber Power Tricks ones, let's try the fiberglass Power Tricks ones. Another perfect fit. I'll show you the back. Now that we've tried the twins, both the Power Tricks, let's give these 3D printed ones a go. All right, so these ones do fit better in a factory Nissan bumper rather than the KVD bumper. They definitely fit the snuggest in some areas and the not snuggest in some areas. I can't quite get this top part to align perfectly. It kind of seems to bow out just a smudge. I'll show you where they lack and where they're good. So here's where you can kind of see that they bow out a little bit. And if I push this in, I still can't quite get that perfectly flat. But I'll show you the other side. So the other side, you can see that the guide for it kind of stops. I mean, it rounds out right here and goes into the factory part of the bumper. As far as guiding airflow, it's not as long here to guide it to where it needs to go. And I would be a little afraid to drill holes in this, just not knowing if it's gonna crack or really the longevity of it, because it does feel a lot flimsier, and the fact that I've already cracked one. And I didn't put any of this white filler in. That's how it came when it got shipped. So final thoughts on the ducts. As far as it goes, in my opinion, I would say that Power Tricks, with their huge hole for the ducting, is gonna be more for like a race setup, just for maximum air and reinforcement. I mean, that was probably the biggest thing was, so yes, he does these in fiberglass, but what a lot of people don't know, why they're more expensive, is that he does reinforce it in the carbon fiber from behind, whether you get the fiberglass one or the carbon fiber one. So this is really cool. These, I could wholeheartedly not recommend them. I wanted to be able to support somebody that, you know, wants to break into the market, but you really have to bring a quality product. And the fact that I haven't even painted these yet and we were just test fitting them and they broke, not really a good sign. So I'm gonna probably say pass to those in the nicest way possible. The twins ones, I do love these. I love the style, I love the way that they look. I love the fact that this is a two-piece mold. That way, from the moment that they start to the moment they end, it's guiding air in to get as maximum air without compromising the look of it, because I do like that look. Twins knows how to make a very stylish product, and I do really like that. So I would consider these to be kind of street race style, just because they do serve a purpose without compromising airflow. So that is pretty much it. I mean, you can see how far they've come just in the old style versus, you know, these new products out here. So good luck making your purchase of buying fog light ducts. This video was not by any means paid for by these companies. This is just a video that I wanted to put together to kind of further educate as to why these are $55 and these are more. You do get what you pay for, even with fog light ducts. So that's it. Thanks for watching.